Saudi Arabia versus Turkey. Both teams are undefeated. Who do you guys think is going to win?
With Yazan and Lethal heading on to the Echo and Farah, both of them having that Mercy in their back pocket as well.
Yeah, it's so interesting watching this Echo pick come out as people try to contend with Yazan's Farah. It has been so hard, and Echo is a good alternative, but you're seeing the problem she struggles with, right? At range, she really can't do damage, and that burst, if she doesn't complete it all the way, just gets sustained out by that Mercy. Now we're seeing Yazan through the window here.
Oh, I'm actually really surprised that Turkey is
they do take down
challenging the sky with
so it's going to be a little bit
an
more
Echo.
difficult for them to engage on the point. Seeing Saudi Arabia get that first touch,
Damn, Lethal living with like 50 HP
for that resurrection, but it's used to bring back Sermon instead to have that extra sustain. Unfortunately, it doesn't do enough. Oh, okay. Muso gets knocked off the map though, and KSA coming back in with a big pick onto Nephrin. They're still able to hold on to the point and contest this pretty heavily, but Lethal dishing out so much DPS, especially with behind
Lethal.
Now Turkey flipping point.
Oh,
yeah, beautifully done by Lethal, stuck in a 1v1 against Yazan. It's not a place you
Yazan
want to be.
Is switching to the Echo now.
Out from Yazan, the projectile god, but dominated by Lethal there once he closed the gap. Now Lethal, unfortunately,
he just oh my god,
goes for the res down onto Farouk. Now we got 2 mercies, baby. Lethal going big there for Turkey, bringing back.
That has to be a mistake. That has to be a mistake, bro. There's no way.
Scoreboard towards 30%.
That is extremely funny, but also so valuable to have those 2 resurrections back in play, and Farouk coming back.
Wait, I just noticed something as well.
Bob from Quartz trying to contest that point and does
Mike, appreciate the massive friends. I just realized something. The guy's casting.
Looking for the mirror matchup as
he never usually casts, right? There was always 2 other people.
Instead of the Farah wanting to match up the Lethal, and the sticky bombs are going to take down that Turkey DPS line pretty easily. Haku now bringing Surmajed in. The burst healing will be available for this fight, and
CB was fucking amazing at casting, man.
Doesn't get the ultimate from it, but ooh, the
information and everything she.
It's still that Bob that might be able to contest this fight for Turkey, though. As Saudi Arabia is leaving KSA on the site, they have to go to use the Valkyrie. Both support ultimates expended and the Rampage as well from Saudi Arabia in order to try and win this one out. As the anti-health does fade away, Romani still gets real low. Sermajed looking for that pick, but it's still Turkey that finds all.
This is a really good game. I like this. Star, appreciate the massive prime sub.
Yazan swapped to Echo, and there was a great couple of trades back and forth, but now Yazan on Echo, Quartz on that Ashe. They're trying to take the fight to the point, and Yazan's able to open it up with a great pick down onto Lethal. Now we'll have to see if Haku goes for the res here, playing off the side of the map. Romani connects for another, equals it out. Romani goes big. And it looks like Turkey's able to keep a hold of the point as they tick up towards 65%.
Yo, this is actually a really good game, man. Like I said, chat, both teams undefeated. Going into this, one team has to be a loser.
Like have that duplicate in for the next fight. The Kitsune Rush from Muzo is coming back up as well. Saudi Arabia, they did invest a lot of ultimates into a fight that they didn't win the last time that they tried to defend this point. Wazan now coming back with the duplicate from Lethal. The Junker Queen has come through and is doing so much damage onto KSA.
This is bad. This is bad for Saudi Arabia, bro. They lost their main tank. This is last fight.
It's going to be up to Yazan
you only have 10 seconds.
Make up that gap with his own duplicate. The Bob does come through to contest the point right as Lethal's duplicate fades away. But Yazan taking down Lethal before the Bob can be even destroyed. Now the overtime has been activated with a touch from Haku and KSA, or I should say Yazan posing as KSA on the Junker Queen. The Rampage comes through. Quartz with the pick onto Nephrin, and now Quartz going big.
That's big. That's big. Holy shit!
Being pocketed by Haku on the objective that they weren't looking at Quartz, and that just
Sub Pigeon, appreciate the massive 1,000 bits as well, my dude. Absolutely insane.
Actually having Lethal switch over to the Soldier.
Yeah, what a crazy opening. And of course, Lethal swapped over to the Soldier, gets taken out, and swaps immediately back to the Echo. And he's like, I am not having that disrespect. Saudi Arabia up at 92%, Turkey up at 99%. You know, Lethal got the Junker Queen, but we saw in that ult, he wasn't able to have a ton of value, and it ended up going down as Romani, their front line, goes down. Muzo follows, and Saudi Arabia secures point 1.
Nah, man.
In a very back-and-forth fashion, Tala.
Yeah, that was incredibly scary for Turkey since they had it already at 99, and Saudi Arabia, they very nearly last
Come
fight.
on, man.
If it weren't for Yazan's duplicate into the Junker Queen, they wouldn't have had a tank into the fight, and Yazan was able to get the Rampage off as well. But at the end of the day, they were missing a lot, and they were at a huge deficit. It was a game-changing
That was a good fucking round, though, chat. 99-99, that was a good fucking round.
Fantastic focused effort from Saudi Arabia as we head on into Ruins, my favorite map, man, I gotta say. And we're seeing the Widows pop out from both sides. Quartz, we've just seen him do amazing things on this character. Nefrin up for a Goliath of a task ahead of them. Let's see how these two teams delve at it as both teams try to vie for middle control of the map now.
And it's going to be a question of, I feel like this Widow is more going to be looking to deal with the Echo Mercy rather than the other Widow, but it's just up to the target selection.
Quartz has been a good fucking Widowmaker.
Excellent shot from Saudi Arabia's Widowmaker, and Yazan up ahead with the harass. They
Quartz
don't
has
have
been
that hit scan anymore to try and deal with the Echo up above, and as Nefrin is coming back into the fight, the entirety of Turkey gets staggered, going to have to regroup while Haku brings back Yazan, of course, loyal Pocket Mercy to have that Echo back in.
Yeah, loyal day one right there, but of course, Quartz just opening up with that pick onto Nefren, and of course, Yazan.
Cloud, appreciate the massive new tier 1 sub.
Saudi Arabia straight on the point and taking up towards 15%. Now, Quartz playing the point man here, trying to isolate this Widow 1v1 while the rest of the
IRP,
team
man, I was asleep, but I'm going to be watching it on Monday. All the games that I missed because I was sleeping, because it's like 3 a.m. for me, is I'm going to be watching them on Monday.
Around this corner and get the damage off onto KSA, both of them getting really low, but this mirror composition, a lot of burst healing here. The focus for Saudi Arabia is trying to get Muzo out, since Farouk is very concentrated on keeping Lethal up and getting Lethal to do that DPS for Turkey and kind of be the playmaker here.
Oh no, this is actually, this is looking bad, chat. It looks like Saudi Arabia is running away with this competition, man.
Into a secondary Junker Queen just as KSA
it doesn't look like this round is as close.
This is just too much health for Turkey to shred through, especially with Lethal down, and they have to regroup once again in their spawn.
Man, what an oppressive composition, right? Talk about the speed boost that you're getting from Surma Jed, and you're getting from that Junker Queen. Should Echo double up on the Junker Queen too? You've got so much gap closing potential, and with Quartz.
What game are you looking forward to today? Denmark versus
closing that gap on the Echo, going for the 1v1.
Denmark versus France in this bracket.
Quartz
I don't know who's other. I don't know who else is there.
Ooh, Quartz really trying to take down Lethal and focus that fire on their DPSs.
Oh.
Once again, here's the Valkyrie from Farouk on Turkey's side.
Yeah, it's France versus Denmark. Those two teams are really fucking good. Really good.
To fight in the next one. However, Saudi Arabia has 3 ultimates of their own, and the Valkyrie has been activated by Haku, trying to get a lot of sustain down onto this team. Okay, Lethal has turned into a Mercy once again, perhaps trying to make sure that the rest of the squad can stay up, and a resurrection potential. Muzo does fall, so I think that Lethal might look for it, but is knocked out of it before they're able to even get a res off. That overtime has been activated, but it's Muzo that's doing the contesting. Yazan goes big for a second.
Damn, bro, the first round looks so good, man. Oh, we're going to King's Row.
They kind of fell apart.
King's Row.
Saudi Arabia opting.
Are you gonna watch me play soon? Finzi.
Mercy, Sigma, and Baptiste combo. No. Turkey definitely has something more brawly, so we're gonna have to see how this pans out, Epitomes.
But I will be watching your
down Lethal early in May is really the brunt of all the stalling power for Saudi Arabia. Quartz able to get onto the high ground closer to that
Finzi,
point,
after your game, if you want to come to my chat and you want to talk to us, you can if you want.
Through that entirety
we'll be
of
watching.
that chokehold, didn't even put up a big fight from Turkey to get themselves onto this first point. Already a first tick. Oh, nice shot from Quartz as well to take down Romani and Muzo. Now without a tank and down.
Good luck, my friend. You better fucking win.
And it's going going to be the flex support as well.
Quartz is a good Widow, chat. Quartz is a good Widow.
Actually, they're not even going to make an attempt. They're still inside their spawn, and Quartz has a sightline straight into it. They could potentially just get picked off while sitting inside of their spawn room. But now that the spawn has moved back, they're allowed inside that room now. And Yazan looking to bully a little bit further with the Mercy right by his side, but Quartz is able to get that healed back up.
Man, from when Overwatch was released, this is the strategy. You take those long lines of sight, dominate the first point, and then play advance, and that's exactly what Saudi Arabia is doing, leaving Quartz completely unanswered as Yazan and Quartz both tick up towards their ultimate abilities. Quartz popping that info sight, getting all the information in the world, and just having a fantastic time.
Quartz, man, Quartz. I'm actually really
and, you know, off the back of Yazan's ulti, close range, Muzo does find him. Saudi Arabia are just taking so much space, Hala.
Yeah, it's not even just the fact that they
he has a very slow
that
sensitivity, but look at that tracking.
In to contest the point, they are just forced all the way back every single time.
You can see how slow his sensitivity is.
Now Nefrin switching onto the Sombra since they're realizing they need some way to bully this Widowmaker.
Shot,
and Farouk should be able to taxi them all the way to that point, but they're able to get point B without even much of a contest. And 5 minutes left over. That is just such a large time bank to be going into, and Turkey, it seems like the fight might have gone out of them after that Ruins fight that they lost. Nice knockback to get Romani out of the fight as well.
It's a brutal situation to be in if you're Turkey. You've been getting staggered from the first point, and like you mentioned, 5 minutes and counting, and the stagger continues, right? Quartz finds Lethal. They found Romani shortly before that. They've always been down a player, this Turkish squad, because Saudi Arabia excels at this range. And if you can't do anything about it, right?
That Lucio's dead. Dude, what's Turkey doing, bro? They're always out of position and just dying.
Having a great time. He is just hanging out. No one cares about him. And he is finding kill after kill. Now on a 10-player kill streak. Make that 11 as he is just sitting up on this high ground, Zala.
Yeah, they're forced to use that sound barrier, but these ultimates are just kind of throwaways at this point from Turkey. They do have Lethal's duplicate.
The Pharaoh comes back. The Pharaoh comes over to help the Widow. I love that. The team coordination, the team, they're helping each other.
Barrage, but finds Muzo. They're out of all of their sustain for this fight.
4 minutes and 32 seconds, bro.
4 minutes, 30 seconds. Completely uncontested. So dominant from Saudi Arabia. Kings Row has completed its first round and it's 3-0 from the Genji. But
unless someone comes to my chat and says, hey, here's 100 gifted subs, vote for Saudi Arabia, or here's 100 gifted subs, vote for Turkey, then, you know, both
are missing out on a lot of appeal for that Ana. So that Lethal can still be a pain in Saudi Arabia's back by harassing that secondary support.
Absolutely. Let's see how that Cassidy can do on the job, the task of protecting that Ana.
I can be bought.
And Quartz actually goes down as Romani closes that gap.
Hey, wait, Romani. Yo, Turkey's doing well.
From Turkey this time around. They've got the speedy closing potential, and KSA finds himself hacked, left without abilities here, and bled out as Romani.
Yo, maybe both teams just suck at defense.
Really just make
they took Kings Row first in 40 seconds.
Control of the tempo in that fight and turning it up a notch.
Yeah, that Junker Queen really forced the tempo a lot more than Saudi Arabia expected. Now switching back onto the Pharah, Yazan back to what he knows, and we're talking about how dominant that first capture was from Saudi Arabia. This was just as dominant. 5 minutes and 30 seconds to force their way over to point B, and Nefrin is really looking for a huge hack on KSA. That Diva was made really vulnerable by Nefrin's first hack and really helped the team fall apart.
Yeah, KSA swapping on over to the Junker Queen, hopefully to deal with some of that aggression a little bit better. You got to respect that bleed. It does a ton of damage, and with it being available on so many of Junker Queen's skills, you really want to keep that distance. Lethal, though, and the rest of this Turkish squad doing a great job playing on the point. Quartz dived in the back line. Lethal tries to get to the Mega and goes down. Yazan on this Pharah pick is doing so much gold damage for the Saudi Arabian team, Tala.
And this is obviously what we wanted to see from Yazan, and it shreds a Junker Queen so quickly. Haku does go down,
poor Lucio came over to help his tank and just died.
Is brought back into the fight, even though this Pharah is hacked and without a Mercy pocket. The entirety of Turkey looking to just regroup instead, as that Mercy is able to join the team.
Right, join the team, re-up, regroup. Let's see if we can retake control of the point here. Saudi Arabia using the verticality of this map, right? We talked about this early on. Pharah rather, succeeds because she can play around the corners and the rooftops. Nefrin with the hack, with the EMP, close range, it's going to connect. Can they follow it up, though? Turkey struggling to find a finish.
That EMP.
Connects onto Quartz, Tala. Can they keep it up?
You saw them backing away. He didn't get to hit everyone.
To take down Quartz from the fight. The Cassidy forced to play a little bit closer. Huge Suzu there to take all of the anti-health off of some of the Turkey's players, but it's not going to be enough. Muzo, unfortunately, unable to keep Farouk in the fight. They're missing that little bit of extra DPS and sustain that the Lucio would offer, and once again, stalled out at this first choke point. The payload, however, is pushed up very far, but it's just slowly making their way back to where Turkey has been stalled.
Beautifully done for this Turkish team, where they struggled on Ilios, but having a lot more success on the first point of King's Row. However,
he's hindered.
Arabian team with a
only a 1K with the blade.
Finds Quartz in the back rooms here up top. On the hallway, down a dive onto Surma Jed, gets deflected off by Yazan. Beautifully done, and Epitomes, they are going in. Yazan with the ulti, close range, finds two, and Nefrin returns with one of his own, but the Saudi Arabian squad is staying high in the sky. Just too much distance for the Turkish team to finish him off.
Honestly, even that barrage didn't even take out the both of them, and the sound barrier just
I'm gonna be honest with you. This Genji pick, I personally don't like.
Pay for his sins by being sent back to the spawn room. Nefrin, however, now taking out Yazan's pocket.
But they managed to get a hold.
So Nefrin is really trying his best to just
somehow
harass this DPS line. And we actually saw that Lethal is really going for Quartz as well. They're getting really close to this checkpoint now, and it seems like the Quartz tired of being harassed on the Cassidy.
There you go. That was a much better EMP from him. That was a much better EMP.
Lethal follows up to it so quickly and without any hesitation. Now only KSA left over. Quartz goes down quickly after Lethal.
That was a good one. That was a good one. Sombra is really strong right now.
Just so well done.
Yeah, beautifully set up. Great teamwork from the Turkish squad.
Ooh.
That's what we need to see. You know what I mean? They're playing this close range composition. You gotta work together. You gotta stagger your abilities. And a great EMP followed up by just good execution from the Turkish squad is leading to Muzo finding back-to-back kills here. Huge for Turkey, rather. This is a big point. They're getting a lot of space right now. They've got one player on the payload as they continue this pressure onto the spawn. Turkey,
right after you said you don't like the Genji pick, I don't like the Genji pick still.
Saudi Arabia
but the Sombra makes it.
Genji has become a huge sore spot for Turkey.
Genji
and
against
been
Pharah
left unchecked as well. Saudi Arabia, they're kind of focused on harassing these supports, and it's a little bit hard to catch out the Genji as Pharah. And there's a blade that comes through. Yazan goes down with a helpful shot from Muzo.
If he got that kill, I would have fucking.
Is going to be able to trade back onto Romani, and Haku has this resurrection in the back pocket, and that's just the power of the Mercy. Even though Yazan is brought back into the fight, it wasn't strictly necessary, with Saudi Arabia seeming really dominant in that last one.
Definitely, yeah.
Wait, what do you guys mean, huh?
Their losses, they go for the reset there and are trying to regroup.
What do you mean?
But you gotta give it to Lethal, right? That was a great try, a great attempt with that Dragon Blade to deal with these mosquitoes up in the sky. However, just too mobile, too good, and now we're seeing Quartz back on the Widow as Yazan has that barrage ready to rock Epitomes.
Yeah, Quartz going back onto the Widowmaker, I feel like it's going to be a lot more comfortable for Saudi Arabia, but it's also very easy to get harassed by both the Genji and the Pharah, and they're really just trying to put so much pressure onto this Widowmaker. Yeah, Lethal coming in from behind. The Rampage does come through from KSA, but there's no follow-up from Saudi Arabia and just no time as the effect of that ultimate does wear away. The Kitsune Rush from Surma Jed might be able to bring them back into the fight, but it's an EMP to counter from Nefrin. However, Nefrin brought down by a res quartz, and oh my gosh, I've never seen a barrage find that much of value at this high level. Yazan able to find 2 and just clear out the rest of Turkey, whittling down the timer very low now despite that first checkpoint.
I love the way the Saudi Arabian team is playing on this third point. It's hard to make
tight
Farah
C9
work
in the chat.
The enemy team, the attacking team, has tons of ways to get up to your high ground. When you've got Quartz and you've got Farah, though, you can split them up, which is exactly what we saw. And now the attacking team has to deal with opposition from completely different places. Turkey, they want to dive bomb you and focus on one area. If you make them split, they'll fall apart. And that's why you saw Yazan find so much value on that barrage. Saudi Arabia playing this excellently right now. Only 45 seconds left on this defense.
Yeah, Quartz is doing his best to keep control of these LOSs as well, and the card has already been pushed.
Are you getting people on stream today too?
There's a Widowmaker
yes, but I don't know if I
on every
have
single
one
of
for
these players, and
in Saudi Arabia,
neutralizing the Sombra that wants to get behind these players without much detection. Now Farouk with the sound barrier could potentially help as a Kitsune rush comes through, but there's not many ultimates from Saudi Arabia that are available other than that barrage which is coming up, and the Valkyrie. Surmajed and Quartz both falling could mean disaster for
Aiming
Saudi
is hard.
Arabia.
It 38 months,
seems like Yazan is going to try his best. The barrage now available. The Suzu forced out in order to save Muzo's life, but Yazan has to be the one to touch, and as a Farah, you don't want to be too close to the ground. The barrage does come through and removes Turkey's tank as a factor. However, there's no one touching Quartz as a Widowmaker doesn't want to touch. KSA does switch on to that Diva and is able to test. What are they doing?
What are they doing
From KSA? What just happened?
What are they doing? KSA flew away from the point,
so
came back, flew away from the point, and came back.
Right?
What is he doing?
He just got rid of Romani. All we have to do is regroup and then contest it at the last possible second. They are not going to be able to stop us without their tank.
What the fuck are they doing? I mean, it doesn't matter. Chat, it doesn't matter that Turkey capped. Because
that is
Saudi Arabia has 4.5 minutes to get one tick, but like the game could have ended right there. They're just extending the game.
You know, like it's just it's so tough. But now we're on the flip side, right? Saudi Arabia have 4 minutes and 32 seconds to try and crap a point here. So I think they, you know, they've got a little bit of time to make something happen. Let's just say that, Epitomes.
Yeah, how much time does Turkey have? 0. No. So, I mean, Saudi Arabia, that was a little bit of a troll.
Nah, 1v1 Torb. Go Torb for 1v1.
And you can see in chat they're trying to convince Turkey to 1v1 them on
1v1 for map.
the map, by the way.
If we win, we take point. If you win, we AFK.
If you win, we AFK.
No way. No
what
way.
in the world? They're throwing their map. They're throwing their map.
Way.
And Yazan is actually on the tour, but like he actually wants to do it. Look at them. They're actually doing it. No way! They're actually going to tour 1v1 for the map.
Bro.
Yazan versus Lethal. Place your bets in chat. Place them right now.
Yeah,
who do you got
right now?
Who do you got, Jim?
Get your points in, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, Lethal versus Yazan. We've got a tour 1v1 for the centuries here, forming before our eyes. Epitomes.
Is this allowed?
You know, let the players play, baby. This is the World Cup. Sometimes we see some off-meta compositions. Sometimes we see...
No, Saudi Arabia wins. Saudi Arabia wins.
What are they doing?
Yo, they're going at it.
Oh my god, wait. Yazan looks like... Okay.
Yazan almost goes down. He's one hit away from going down, but comes out on top over Lethal. No E. I did see them say that in the chat.
He said no E. He's cheating. They just cheated at a World Cup match! They just cheated at a World Cup! He said no E! No E! No E!
Honestly,
no E!
You can't blame Turkey. They put up a fantastic effort.